Hello and welcome to a brand new video. As you can probably tell from the background image, it is a MCU video. Now I recently did one of these videos, so I will be ranking, I want to make sure I get that right, ranking the 21 Marvel movies from worst to best. So without further ado, if you are new around here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that little thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds to hit it and it would mean a hell of a lot to me, and I would very much appreciate it. Let's roll those credits and let's get into the action. So, as I said, I will be ranking the 21 Marvel movies from worst to best. I will put a little list on the screen so that you can see. Boom, a list. So, as you can see, we've got the first Marvel MCU movie, which was Iron Man, way back in 2008, ending in Captain Marvel, I apologise, Captain Marvel in 2019. Still currently out in the cinema, and just to have a wee little look, I'm wondering how well it is doing in the cinema. Let's have a wee little look. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, but I want to point out, is technically Shazam, but let's not get bogged down with the particulars. If you are wondering, hang on, what is this crazy lady talking about? So when Shazam was originally created, he was called Captain Marvel. However, Marvel, the comic book company, then copyrighted the name Marvel, meaning that DC could then no longer use the name Captain Marvel for Shazam and had to change his name to Shazam. And that is how he is what he is. So, currently still in the cinema and is 910.3 mil. That is pretty dope. Kind of off topic, I'm curious to know how much Aquaman made. Massive DC fan. Anyway, still in cinemas, nice. How much did it make overall? I'm really sorry, it's an MCU video, but I'm just curious. 1.147. Ooh. Right, back to the video. So, not only is there a list on screen for you to check, but I have also written out a list myself. So here we have the Marvel movies that are currently on screen. We have my picks. We have favourite heroes, favourite villains, worst heroes, and worst villains. So I'm going to keep this list with me because I can just check because I've got it all written down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my favourite heroes, favourite villains, worst heroes, worst villains, and then I'll get straight in. So favourite hero number 1, Captain America. I'm a massive Superman fan. Now, Captain America is a little bit like Superman in his values, that he wants to do the right thing. He will never back down from a fight, regardless of how strong the opposing person is. Kind of like Superman, won't back down from a fight, regardless of how strong or how powerful the opponent is, and will always try to do the best, like Captain America. They both live for truth and justice. So it's one of the reasons why I like Captain America. Real fan. And also, if I'm correct in saying, I think I am, when they did the Marvel DC crossover comic, Captain America and Superman were merged into the same character. Check that out. And Iron Man. Why would you not? He's wisecracking, he's funny, why would you not? I mean, I was watching, Iron Man 1 last night, and quite early on in the film, where Agent Coulson goes to the Stark Tower to speak to Tony, and when he gets in, Pepper says to him, "Hi, Phil," and he turns and says, "Phil, his first name is Agent." Just funny little jibs and jabs like that. So it's another reason as to why I like Iron Man. My favourite villain. Now, I have one favourite villain. I have two, but I'm not 100% about the second one. So my favourite villain in the MCU by far is Loki. You can't not like Loki. He's the He's the brother. He's the brother that does so much wrong that he thinks it's right because he's trying to get out of his brother's shadow. You know, he wants to stand up and say, hang on a second, I can be just as good as you. But his motives and the way he goes about it are wrong, as we know. But he does do the right thing every now and then, and that's one of the reasons why I love Loki. He's just great. He's Loki. The second one I was an ooh and an ahhing about was Killmonger from Black Panther. He was the kind of villain that was, you know, he had that because I can attitude. You know, I'm the one that should have the throne. Why? Because I can. Because I have the birthright. Because I can. Good villain. You know, really, really good. So that's one of the reasons why I liked him. Worst heroes. Drax and Mantis. What do they bring to Guardians of the Galaxy? Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. You know, they are both pointless characters, but are there just to help fill the group along. You know, just for me, just no. Big fat no. Worst villains. The Mandarin from Iron Man 3. For me, the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley. That's the Mandarin. Obviously, if you've seen Iron Man 3, somebody else is the actual Mandarin. But throughout the movie, we're portrayed that Ben Kingsley is this epic badass that's, you know, doesn't give a crap about anything or anyone. You know, sod the consequences. We're going to just whatever. And then it turns out he's actually an actor, and quite a funny actor as well. So that's one of the reasons why he's on there, because we actually find out that Ben Kingsley's villain is actually just an actor. That's all he is. He's just a paid actor. He's not the one doing all the atrocities. He's just said, there's a script, do it. That's it. Rubbish. And probably the worst villain in MCU history, and I challenge anybody to come at me with another villain that's as bad as this, Whiplash, or whatever his name is, from Iron Man 2. Mickey Rourke as that Russian parrot vodka-loving whip. What were they thinking? It was horrific to watch. I would have rather have watched Open Heart Surgery live than have watched that. It was horrifically bad. So, you've had my hero, my villains, worst hero, worst villains. Let's get in to the meat and veg. So, in at number 21. So from worst to best. In at number 21, Iron Man 2. Boom, there it is, straight off the bat. Like I said, I'd rather watch Open Heart Surgery live. I really would. Thor 2. It isn't much better. However, I would rather watch Thor 2 than Iron Man 2. It's that simple. You know, it's open heart surgery to, you know, Thor 2 watching someone have, you know, blood taken. It's that simple. You know, the lesser of the two, you know, the two evils. You know, they're both shockingly bad, but out of the two of them, you know, which one's better than the other? Thor 2 is better, personally. The thing is, with the MCU Marvel movies, excluding the bottom two, they're all really good films, and it's kind of hard to place them. So I've just placed them where I feel this is my opinion. People are going to disagree, they're going to agree, whatever. You know, this is my opinion. You've got yours, I got mine. So, in at number 19, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not a great movie. You know, wasn't a huge fan. The villain, the Ghost, kind of pointless because I think she died in the end. So, didn't really get anything going forwards. The only thing we did really find out was actually right at the end of the movie with regards to time portals, I think they were. or time warp portals or something. Time vortexes. So that's it. It's just that simple. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Wasn't a big fan of the film. I've seen it once. I'd like to keep it that way. Didn't enjoy it at all. Really wasn't a fan. The villain, the Celestial Planet, Kurt Russell. Just no. I just did not like the movie. I really didn't. I thought they could have done a hell of a lot better, and there was probably a lot more source material, like comic stories, that they could have pulled from and made a film out of that, and maybe adapted 2 or 3 different comics together into one movie to make a really good film. But instead they went with that. For me, not brilliant. And then we have the Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton, not Eric Bana, that's Hulk, which is quite surprising actually, because we've had Iron Man, we've had Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Thor 3, Captain America 2, Captain America 3. There's no Hulk movies in there. There's no Hulk films in there whatsoever. And I've just dropped the lid to my pen. Bear with me. Ugh. It's quite bizarre that the founding members, aka Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, the Hulk's not had any movies, but there we are. So yeah, the Hulk. And then after that it is Ant-Man. I did enjoy Ant-Man. Seen it a few times now. It is a really good film. Decent villain, the Yellow Jacket. Relatively good villain. Decent story. Good film, It's not one of those movies, for me personally, it's not one of those Marvel movies that I could watch over and over again. And then after that, we have Captain America, the first Captain America, in at number 15. Not really much I can say about it. It was a really good film, really enjoyed it, but there are far better films in the MCU, so that's why it is where it is. In number 14, we have Thor. Again, really good film, really good story, but again, there are better films in the MCU, and that's why it's at number 14. In at number 13, however, one of my favourites... Oh, what is going on here? I'll just whack the mouse. Get the list back up, thank you. One of my favourites, actually, is Age of Ultron. Big fan of Age of Ultron. I've seen that, countless times. Really good film. But again, there are better films. So in at number 12, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Really enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. Really, really good film. It's a teenager with, these powers. With great power comes great responsibility. He does his best. Really good villain, actually. Really good villain. Really good film. Really good film. In at number 11, Doctor Strange. Again, fantastic film. Good story. Good hero. Villain was, but yeah, big Benedict Cumberbatch fan. Really big fan. Sherlock, The Hobbit, Star Wars, The Grinch. Really good fan. And then at number 10, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. The first Guardians of the Galaxy. That film is absolutely amazing. Really great film. Phenomenal soundtrack. Just everything you want. It's great, and I love it very, very much. Now, this is where I got a bit stuck. Now, there was 2 films that could have either been on 9th place or 8th place. And those 2 films are Civil War, which is effectively Avengers 2.5, let's be honest, and Captain Marvel. I can't decide where to place them, because they're both really good films. Really enjoyed both of them, but I can't decide where to place them. So I'll let you decide which one goes on 8th and which one goes on 9th. There we are. I'll leave it up to you people. So at number 7, we have Avengers Assemble. Great film. Watched it last night. Really, really, really good movie. My only, like, if I was going to nitpick, it would be that it takes so long for the action to get started. That's my only, like, nitpicky thing that I can say about the film, is it takes so long for the action to start. You know, when I'm watching an action film, you know, I want gunfights, car chases, topless ladies, you know, explosions, you know, all kicking off from the word go. But that, I mean, I understand why it took so long for the action to start, but I just wish, you know, that it would have started a bit sooner, you know. So that's why I placed it at number 7. Then at number 6 we have Black Panther. You know, it took me a long time to actually get around to watching that film. I wasn't overly fussed about watching it. I wasn't like, ooh, I need to see this movie, like many others. It was just one of those films that it was like, yeah, do I really need to watch it? I have seen it a few times. It is a phenomenal movie. I'm so glad that I did watch it. Really, really good. So I placed it in my top 10, so it's 6th. In at number 5, we have Thor Ragnarok. Great film, great soundtrack, really, really good. My only downside about it is Karl Urban's character. He was pointless, really pointless. He didn't do anything. 1 minute he's an Asgardian, then he's helping Hela, then he's an Asgardian again. Pick a side and stick with it, will you? My God, just horrific. You know, not great. But overall, the film, fantastic. In at number 4, Iron Man 3. I know people out there are going to go, oh, Iron Man 3's not very good, blah, 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 blah. I personally really enjoyed Iron Man 3. Really like it. Really, really like it. You know, the only thing, like I said previously, with the worst villain is obviously the Mandarin. We expect him to be like epic and awesome, and it turns out he's an actor. So that's, you know, but I love Iron Man 3. So we're into my top 3. So in at number 3, we have Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier. I love that movie. It's like one of my go-to Marvel movies. I absolutely adore the film. You know, great chemistry between him and Black Widow. You know, they really combine well together. Really love that film. You know, like I said, it's one of my go-to movies. When I've got nothing else to watch, Iron Man, Captain America, 2, Winter Soldier. Yeah, no, real big fan. Really, really, really big fan. In at number 2, we have Iron Man, the first MCU movie. Back in 2008, 11 years ago. Oh, fuck me. My chair's having a dodgy 5 minutes. Yeah. In at number 2, Iron Man. So back in 2008, when my chair's not going to have another fanny attack, I don't think they could foresee just how well and just how big the MCU was going to get. You know, they made Iron Man with hopes that it would do well. And then in any subsequent movies then after would do well. I don't think they could foresee just how well it would do. You know, Iron Man. It's like it's you know it's this the first step. You know, the first stepping stone in the MCU. It is where it all started. And at number 1, we have Infinity War. Need I say more? What is not to like about that movie? I must have seen it about 10, 20 times. Phenomenal, just amazing villain. Great story. the villain even has a great reasoning as to why he's doing what he's doing, which I think a lot of us can actually go, yeah, I can kind of see your logic. Granted, it is a bad way of doing it, but yes, we can see your logic. Yeah, just great. I mean, we've got Endgame just around the corner, which I will be going to see. But yeah, for me, Infinity War, kind of blew every other superhero movie just out of the water, really. Even the Dark Knight trilogy, as amazing as they are, and they are amazing, by the way, I think Infinity War, just kind of blew that out of the water. I don't think there's any film in history that can live up to Infinity War. I really don't. There's a lot of good films out there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of amazing films out there. But then Infinity War just kind of like blew them all out of the water. Like I said, it had everything you wanted. It had, surprise, shock, awe, sadness, happiness. It had everything you wanted in a film. So yeah, that is my pick, my top 21 of all Marvel movies. So my question to you, after I pick up my pen for a second time and put it down, so my question to you is, what is your top 21 Marvel movies? What is your top picks? What top movies, what ones do you favour over others? Like I said, we all have our favourites, and those are mine. Oh, excuse me. So, thank you for sitting around and watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a big fat thumbs up if you have. Only takes a second just to give it a little click. Please do subscribe for more videos. Hit that bell to be notified of when I do upload a new video, and I will see you in another video. Yes, I most certainly will, in another video.